let's rewind a bit. Welcome back to 2017, where you're playing your favorite tycoon game, Clone Tycoon 2. Maybe you're playing with a friend, or maybe you're alone, but either way, you're having a grand old time. All of the different upgrades for your base, all of the different clone upgrades you can get, it was all just way too cool. Of course, there were also other games you played, like Pizza Factory Tycoon or Miner's Haven. A neat thing to do to pass the time, not requiring that much work, just do it. Some miscellaneous tycoons you've played only take 30 minutes to an hour to complete, but still, you had a good time with all of them. Now, flash forward to today, where I ask you, what the hell is this? Hello, I'm Starism, and since you clicked on this video, you probably remember playing Tycoons back in the day. While they still exist on Roblox today, they are nowhere near as popular as they once were. Today I'll talk about the rise of Tycoons back in 2016, and how they were eventually replaced with simulators in present day. By the way, this is also going to be a pretty fast-paced video. I'm probably going to only spend around a minute on each game, so if you can't pick up with that, I don't know, just click off, I guess. Now, enough banter. Let's get into the classics. Welcome to McDonald's Tycoon, or McRonald's Tycoon as we call it nowadays. From what I can assume, the original two got taken down because of copyright concerns, but I mean, hey, we still have this. Popularized in 2016 by a certain blue-haired someone, this is one of the more basic tycoons, which I'll go over now. You start off by claiming a base, usually by touching a part. Then, you go over to a red pad and start working by getting a free dropper. Droppers usually drop blocks, which then go into the furnace. Every time a block goes into the furnace, you earn some money, generally at the money station. This money usually isn't in your balance until you claim it at the money station. In some cases, users can steal from other players at their money stations, so be careful. You can buy more droppers and upgraders, which upgrade the block's value. Over time, you'll be able to do things like upgrade your base or get weapons, but we'll talk about all that later. For now, that's the gist of this game. This is Clone Tycoon 2. Instead of blocks going into a furnace, you summon clones of yourself in order to kill other clones to make money. I myself remember playing this a lot as a kid, and the fact that there were so many customization options just shocked my feeble mind. Of course, when playing this nowadays, my clones got completely obliterated by the other ones, but still, it was fun at the time. Not to mention that the game still gets updates to this day, even after being up for years. And then we have what, in my opinion, is the best tycoon game ever. Welcome to Miner's Haven, a fully customizable tycoon with hundreds of items. Of course, I'm just using Game Pass items in the footage, I'm just on a different save file right now, but still. There is so much to do in this game, so many items you can collect, so many quests you can go on, not to mention that it's about to get a massive update in the coming months. If you're interested in these kinds of games, I highly recommend at least checking out Miner's Haven. It's a nice blend of old and new tycoon mechanics. Now, there's one more legacy-style game I'd like to talk about before we move on. This is Superhero Tycoon, a game created in the old era of tycoon games, but still updated frequently to this day. If you want a modern tycoon with legacy mechanics, this is your best bet. Not only are there lots of particles for some things, which I like, there are also weapons that you get almost right out the gate. I've also seen some people literally fly around with rocket boots, which is super cool in my opinion. This isn't a promotion or anything, but check it out if you wanna, I guess. However, around 2018 to 2019, something changed. A new type of farming game was introduced. Enter simulators. These simulators, in some cases, are much more innovative than the classic tycoon format. Yardwork Simulator, the one I'm playing now, was made back in 2018. Here we see the simulator format we all know and love. Do a thing, get currency, upgrade your thing, and then buy pets. this was obviously much more monetizable than Tycoons, which just had random upgraders that you could purchase. And over time, there started to be less and less Tycoons pop up. However, Tycoons do still exist, which is what we're going to talk about right now. This is Mall Tycoon, created by the same person who made the Break-In series. I also used to play this game a lot as a kid. You got to choose everything that happened. What buildings you would get, what upgrades you would get, obviously. But it all just felt so polished, alongside having your friends actually roam around the mall. I recommend this one. It's a fun and polished experience, and it's pretty fulfilling once you get far in it. However, unfortunately, that's kinda where the good stuff stops. Don't get me wrong, there are probably tons of other good Tycoons out there. It's just what we're going to talk about now, yeah, they aren't as, let's say, good. Welcome to, I don't even know what to call this, the story-driven Tycoon, I guess? They're the games that you see with probably a noob face on them, and have some kind of title like, Prove Mom Wrong by Becoming President Tycoon. The problem is that all of these games basically follow the exact same format. And while yes, that was the case for some other Tycoons, it just feels even duller now with modern Roblox games. Gone are the days of building up your base, just sit around and do nothing while the developer gets premium payouts. These games also don't really take themselves too seriously. They're not bad per se, I'd just say they're kinda bland. The next game we're gonna look at, however, I already talked about how trends might be ruining Roblox in my last video. By the way, I might be a little biased with this statement, but I highly recommend you watch that one. This is just a basic Tycoon, except instead of blocks, you drop PNGs of amazing digital circus characters. Except now, the game has the horrors of modern monetization. I mean, hey, it'd probably be easy just to go ahead and copy and paste the same game, but with Skibbity Toy. Welcome to the exact same game, now with Skibbity Toilets! Yeah, this studio has definitely done this before. I'd be lying if I'd say I wasn't expecting this, but at the same time, it just sucks. Genuinely. Now, because I want to end the video on a high note, I want to end off with something that I think actually seems pretty decent. This is Custom PC Tycoon, where you can choose your own parts for a computer, paint it, do whatever you want with it, and then sell it. It's not the greatest Tycoon in the world, but it still just goes to show that newer Tycoon games can still be a relatively good time. Obviously, I don't know if it really holds up because I hadn't played it for that long, but still, I just assume it's good. However, don't let my opinion drive you away from playing. If you want to play it, then play it. I'm not gonna stop you. However, with that, I think we've looked at enough for today. Tycoons in recent times have been completely overshadowed by simulator games. While I'm not saying that the older Tycoons hold up to the games compared to today, they were definitely not as predatory with the monetization as nowadays. There's still hope for Tycoon games, however. There are still some good ones out there. Even if they're not as popular as they were back then, they're still around. They're not completely dead. And I think that's a good place to end on. So until next time, I'll see you all